On this episode of Broncos Legends, we're chatting with former All-Pro returner and Broncos Ring of Famer Rick Upchurch.
There's the pass up the far side. Upchurch is open up at 25.
Rick, thanks for taking some time to chat this morning. We like to start all these off by simply asking, what have you been up to lately?
Well, first and foremost is staying safe, staying out of the way with this COVID going on and that whole deal. It's been awful hard to get with anyone and, spend some quality time. Christmas just over with. So, naturally getting the grandkids and great grandkids their presents and stuff like that. And, once again, just staying out of the way and playing some golf. I'm out here in Las Vegas. So the golf has been pretty good.
It's always golf weather out there, huh?
Absolutely.
Hey, you're old enough to have some great grandkids?
Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah. I got two great grandkids and got two on the way.
Well, that's great. And how you like living out in Las Vegas? Because I think when you were done playing ball, you hung out in Colorado for a while, right?
I did. I stayed in Denver for quite a while, did some coaching there. Then I went off to Kansas and did some coaching. Then came back to Denver and started a program called Rare Breed Sports and Leadership Programs, working in these school systems throughout the state and that whole deal. So, yeah. So, when I got out, first and foremost, when I left the game in a way, man, where I had injuries. I had an injury. They said I couldn't play anymore. So that was really tough. And I went into an isolation for maybe about 2 or 3 years, man, just, wondering what I was going to do and figure out what I was going to do. And like I said, got into coaching and started a program called Rare Breed Sports and Leadership Programs, working with young people, and did that for a long, long time.
Did you always enjoy mentoring? Was that important to you?
Well, yeah, I'm only a reflection of how I was brought up, with my coaches, my family members. They always mentored me and always was there for me. And so that was part of my DNA, was to work with other folks and help them to be the best they can possibly be.
And when you look back at your playing career, how would you describe the type of player you were?
Well, let me tell you, I was fearless. I didn't, the game didn't scare me at all. I wanted to be a game breaker, and I think I was that. I could, turn the game around quickly, and I was a team player. My teammates meant more to me than anything else, individual type of accomplishments, because it is a team game. We all work together to achieve the same goal.
You had to be fearless, sort of at your size and the way the game was played back then. You couldn't have any fear out there, huh?
That's right, boy. Let me tell you, Jack Tatum and those guys would just absolutely unload on you, because if you remember, you could bump and run all the way down the field when I first came into the league. And then they changed it, I think, maybe about 3 years later. And so it was a physical game. There was none of this defenseless receiver or any of that type of stuff. The game was the game, and it was brutal.
Especially at that returner spot. I mean, you're just sitting there waiting for the ball to come down, huh?
Oh, yeah. You're sitting back there and you're waiting. But you know what? For me, what I did was I watched all the punters. When they would punt, before the game, pregame and that whole deal, I would watch and see how they were punting. I would count their hang time. I would look at how they were punting, whether they punting into the sideline, punting it short. And so then I would tell the guys, what we needed to do to accomplish our goals out on the football field.
Do you remember your first game? I think you had 284 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns against the Chiefs, and the first time you ever walked onto an NFL field.
Yes, sir. That was quite a game. It really was something that was totally unexpected. But once again, the Lord, man, he knows he's already had it written of what was going to happen that day. And I was totally surprised, of that game and being able to do the things that I was able to do out there on the field. But let me tell you something. I had been in those situations before, high school, college. And so then come to the pros. I just brought that with me. And I knew that when I got out on the field that I could be a difference. Even then, I knew I could be a difference.
Were you always looking to take it all the way to the end zone?
No, that was not my intent. My intent was first to catch the ball so I didn't put the offense or the defense in a bad situation. That's the number one thing. And then making good decisions out on the football field, and then working with the guys. We'd work real hard when we watch tape and film and that whole deal of where we could return, left, right, middle. And so we all worked together to accomplish the goals we had to accomplish on special teams.
Now, when you broke a couple, I mean, you had a season where you had 4 touchdowns there. Did you have that celebration in mind? Because I think you really got into that spike. Huh? That was sort of your thing.
Well, you know what? Celebration and that whole deal wasn't a big thing for me because even from high school, my coach always said, don't cut your wrist and jump in the water with sharks. And so, I wasn't going to try and show off on those guys because a lot of times when they have an opportunity to knock you out, they would say, well, I could have knocked you out, but because I like you and you don't show off on me, then I didn't knock you out. And I was like, thank you very much. So no, I didn't do a lot of dancing, man. Spiking the ball or raising the ball above my head was about the most I would do.
Okay. What do you remember about that? I think it was 1976. You had those 4 touchdowns. That's still tied for an NFL record for the most return touchdowns in a season. Were you just in the zone that year?
Yeah, in a zone and very comfortable. But once again, the year before, I was named the AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year, and so they knew what I could do. They knew I could, return punts, return kickoffs, play wide receiver. And so it was like, hey, plug him in, put him in wherever he needs to put him and get it done. And I had confidence. I just had confidence in myself that I could play in the National Football League.
And toward the end of your career, your final season in Denver, that was John Elway's first season. And I believe you caught his first completion, right?
I did against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the very first game. Yeah, I caught a little curl in and that whole deal, and that was his first completion.
What was that like when John came to town? I mean, so much hoopla, or what was it
Yeah,
like?
oh yeah, there was tons of hoopla. I was like, man, I'm gonna catch every pass that he throws because if he's getting that hoopla, I'll get some too, dog. Yeah, so I was trying to catch everything that John threw in that whole deal. But we knew when John came in that whole deal that this was going to be a different game for him because it's so much faster and so much sophisticated than college. And so we knew that it was going to take time for him, to learn the system, the speed of the game, and all of those type of things. But what we knew once he, got into that groove, that he was going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback, which he is.
Oh, you knew right away, huh? When you saw some things in practice, or you just knew he was special.
Oh, John could throw the ball on the line for about 60 yards. And then he could run. He's big. He's talented, and naturally, with the maturity that came along with the rest of it as he, was in the league more and more and saw more and more defenses. Boy, you could see that he was going to be something very, very special.
You played with the original number 7, Craig Morton, for a long time too. What was it like having him as your quarterback?
Craig was a great mentor. He had been in the league for a long time. And so he was a great mentor and, teaching us to understand how to run zone, how to run against man-to-man, how to sit down in the zone and all of those things. So Craig was just a great mentor to us, teaching us, man, how to be wide receivers and how to be professionals as well, just like with Haven Moses.
Just a couple more for you here, Rick. That 1977 Super Bowl, not too many people remember the positives from that game, but you had a nice return in that one. What do you remember about playing in the Super Bowl?
What I remember is that when we walked out of that tunnel, to start the game and that whole deal, and I said, this is going to be our one and probably maybe our only chance to win a championship, a Super Bowl championship. And let's leave it out on the field. Everything that we got, let's go out here and win this thing for Denver. And let's go back home, man, and celebrate. And that was my thought, is to do everything I could possibly do to help us to win a Super Bowl. That's all I know. That was my focus.
Well, Rick, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for taking some time to catch up.
Well, thank you so very much, guys. And we appreciate you guys, man, in doing this. I think it's a great thing, bringing back all the old guys so that we can tell some stories about ourselves, man, and our experience in the National Football League and with the Denver Broncos. Thank you.